In the upcoming episodes of The Young and the Restless, the tensions between Ian Ward and Jordan take center stage. Their once solid alliance has crumbled, leaving a volatile and manipulative relationship in its wake. Ian, a master of control, views Jordan merely as a tool to further his own schemes, dismissing her autonomy and well-being. For Jordan, being under Ian's control has become a nightmare. She would rather return to prison than continue enduring his cruelty. When Ian demands that she kill Sharon, Jordan's refusal leads to terrifying consequences. Ian's cold fury leaves her trembling with fear, and she breaks down, desperate to escape her grim situation. Her tearful plea to return to prison reflects just how desperate she is to escape Ian's grasp, but he coldly reminds her that she has no say in when this ends. Jordan is trapped, caught in a cruel game orchestrated by Ian, a man who shows no concern for her suffering. Meanwhile, Phyllis Summer's obsession with Sharon's hypnosis sessions continues to cause chaos. Phyllis remains convinced that Sharon's hypnosis is nothing but a ruse to cover up her involvement in Heather's death. Determined to expose Sharon's deception, Phyllis infiltrates the therapy sessions, but she faces a significant hurdle: Alan, the therapist overseeing Sharon's treatment. Alan warns that any interruption could have disastrous consequences, potentially trapping Sharon in her own subconscious. Nick, concerned for Sharon's safety, warns Phyllis not to interfere, but her skepticism and resentment towards Sharon fuel her desire to expose what she believes is a lie. Phyllis is torn between her desire to protect her family and her need to uncover the truth, even if it means disregarding Nick's warning. If she disrupts the session, the consequences could be dire, potentially leaving Sharon trapped in a permanent hypnotic state or causing irreversible psychological damage. The dangerous games of Ian and Phyllis aren't the only source of tension in Genoa City. The Abbott family finds themselves at odds with Victor Newman, particularly after Kyle Abbott makes a bold move, declaring his independence from Victor. Kyle's decision to bring CLA into his home signifies a break from Victor's influence, a shift that leaves Victor fuming. Meanwhile, Jack and Diane are thrilled with Kyle's newfound autonomy, which symbolizes a more balanced family dynamic. Jack, having learned from past mistakes, supports Kyle's decisions, encouraging him to think for himself. This creates a more confident Kyle, empowered to carve his own path. However, the Winter family is facing a different crisis. Nate and Lily clash over how to handle a suspicious lead regarding Nate's missing brother Damien. A woman named Denise claims to know Damien's whereabouts but demands a large sum of money for the information. Nate, desperate to reunite with his sibling, is willing to pay, but Lily fears it's a scam designed to exploit Nate's emotions. The escalating situation puts a strain on their relationship, and Lily warns Nate not to fall into Denise's trap. As tensions rise, the Winter family is at risk of being torn apart by deception and manipulation. As the holidays approach, the stakes in Genoa City are higher than ever. The decisions made by Ian, Phyllis, Nate, and Kyle will have lasting consequences on their families and the entire community. Ian's unrelenting control over Jordan could push her to take drastic action, while Phyllis's obsession with uncovering the truth could destroy her relationships with Nick and others. Meanwhile, the Abbott and Winter families are navigating shifting loyalties and new alliances, all while trying to protect what matters most. The next few weeks promise explosive revelations, dangerous power struggles, and the potential for irreversible changes that could alter the course of their lives forever. Stay tuned as The Young and the Restless takes us on a tumultuous ride toward a future filled with uncertainty, betrayal, and the chance for redemption. Hey everyone, welcome back to Radiant Serum. I'm Aubrey, and I hope your day is shining bright. Thank you for joining me. Let's jump right into today's video. In the latest The Young and the Restless spoilers, a fractured family dynamic is threatening to tear apart Kyle's household, leading to a turning point in the lives of the characters involved. The introduction of CLA as a potential mother figure for Harrison has cast a dark shadow over what should have been a time for healing and unity. Rather than bringing the family closer together, the situation is stirring bitterness, resentment, and wounded pride. Harrison, though young, is old enough to understand the gravity of these changes. The idea of CLA stepping into the role that Summer once held as his mother figure shakes him to his core. Harrison has always seen Summer as his true mother, with her gentle care, her warm smile, and her tender words that made him feel safe and loved. The thought of CLA replacing Summer in this crucial role fills him with confusion and anger. When he learns of the plan, he explodes with emotion, shouting, "I don't want a new mother. I only have one mom, and that's Summer." His outburst, however, is met with little sympathy from the adults around him. CLA, determined to assert her dominance, responds harshly to Harrison's protest, refusing to tolerate his defiance. In a moment of intense emotion, CLA scolds him and then, shockingly, physically punishes him by swatting him on the backside. Harrison is left stunned, humiliated, and hurt, his trust broken in an instant. The physical pain is temporary, but the emotional trauma lingers as he realizes that someone who is not his mother has laid a hand on him in anger. To his disbelief, Kyle rushes to CLA's defense, siding with her in the confrontation. Kyle, who once promised to protect Harrison above all else, now stands beside CLA, crossing his arms and disapproving of his son's rebellion. His words to Harrison cut deeply. "You will respect CLA. She's going to be a true mother to you." The emotional betrayal is overwhelming for Harrison, and the realization that his father will not stand up for him is devastating. Kyle's refusal to defend his son leaves Harrison feeling alone and powerless, and he begins to long for Summer, wishing she were there to protect him from the harshness of CLA and the emotional neglect from his father. As the tension mounts in the household, Harrison's thoughts turn to Summer. He imagines how she would react if she were present. She would listen to him, comfort him, and never let anyone hurt him. He recalls the loving moments they shared, the bedtime stories, the walks through the park, and the gentle affection she always showed him. These memories give him strength, and Harrison vows to find a way to reach out to Summer. He knows he must tell her what is happening at home, how CLA's harsh treatment and Kyle's complicity have left him feeling abandoned and unworthy. Meanwhile, CLA, sensing that she has successfully asserted control over the situation, begins to envision a future where Harrison obeys her without question. She believes that her dominance will eventually force Harrison to accept her as his mother, pushing Summer further and further into the background. However, CLA's misplaced sense of authority only fuels Harrison's resolve to fight back. He is determined not to give in to her oppressive presence, and he silently resolves to find a way to reach Summer and expose the truth. As the days pass, Harrison's emotional turmoil intensifies. He considers ways to secretly contact Summer, whether it's through a hidden message or a phone call when no one is looking. He hopes that Summer will fight for him once more, the way she always did before. The thought of her potential response, her maternal instincts kicking in and rekindling her determination to protect him, keeps him going. If she learns of CLA's treatment, Harrison believes Summer will not hesitate to confront Kyle and CLA, reigniting the fight for his custody. With tensions high and emotions running deep, the stage is set for a custody battle. Kyle and CLA may believe they have the situation under control, but the storm brewing within Harrison's heart and the loyalty Summer feels for her child could soon disrupt everything. This emotional conflict marks a pivotal moment in Harrison's life, one that could determine his future. Will he be forced to live under CLA's rule, or will he find the courage to reach out to Summer and restore the loving home he once knew? Only time will tell, but the winds of change are coming, and they promise a battle between dominance and love, authority and compassion. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 2 weeks, December 16 to December 27, reveal that Jordan and Ian Ward will disagree about their next steps. Ian will be thrilled over the idea of using Claire Newman's friendship with Mariah Copeland and Tessa Porter to their advantage, but Jordan won't be as enthused during the week of December 16 to 20. Nevertheless, Ian will win this argument and decide to put his new plan in motion right away. Tessa has no clue what Ian looks like, so he'll strike up a friendly bond with her soon enough and lure her into a trap. Meanwhile, Sharon Newman will let Alan Laurent hypnotize her, so that'll bring some shocking revelations. Sharon will soon remember that she wasn't the one who caused Phyllis Summers' crash, so that'll be a relief. However, an even bigger relief may come later since Alan will take Sharon back to the night Heather Stevens drew her last breath. Vale Bloom will make another appearance as Heather just in time for Sharon to get to the bottom of this blackout. After Sharon recalls something huge, she'll mull over a jaw-dropping discovery with Nick Newman, one that leaves him terrified about her safety. Sharon might realize someone far more sinister slipped in and took Heather out that night. Nick may fear that if they can't crack this case, Sharon will continue to be targeted and could face the same fate as Heather. Ian will indeed want Jordan to end Sharon's life, so he'll push her to do something that's both dirty and dangerous. Over with Billy Abbott, he'll try to convince Phyllis to stick with their vengeful alliance, but she'll worry about the turmoil going up against Victor Newman could cause for her children. Jack Abbott will continue to warn against Billy's revenge plot before turning his attention to Tracy Abbott and some holiday memories. Despite all the warnings, Billy will assure Sally Spectra that he's going to pull off a win against Victor. There will be some surprise ally that Billy thinks will be a game changer, so he'll give Sally some important updates. While Diane tries to prove she belongs in the Abbott family business, Nikki Newman will show Claire the ropes at Chancellor and make predictions about her bright future. It turns out Nikki will have some guidance for Victoria Newman as well, so this may involve Victoria's concerns about Claire. Nikki may think Victoria is a bit on the overprotective side and urge her to give Claire a chance to truly spread her wings. Unfortunately, that may be bad advice since Jordan is lurking and will ultimately target Claire with Ian's help. Back with Diane, she'll get some support from someone unexpected. Perhaps it'll be Ashley Abbott who softens toward Diane and shares some good ideas for Gibbet Classic. Elsewhere, Daniel Romalotti Jr. will plaster on a smile for Lucy Romalotti's sake and perhaps pretend to get in the Christmas spirit. Sadly, Daniel will still be struggling with the loss of Heather, so Lucy may see through his fake holiday cheer. At Crimson Lights, Nate Hastings and Amy Lewis will meet with Denise Tolliver, the private investigator who was hired to look for Damien. Denise will reveal good news after tracking Damien down, but she'll leave the ball in Amy and Nate's court on how they want to proceed. Nate and Amy will have to nail down the best way to approach his half-brother with all the shockers they're about to unleash. Back with Phyllis, Y and R spoilers say she'll shift gears when it comes to her payback plan. Phyllis will still want Sharon to suffer for what she's done, but she won't have all the facts. During the week of December 23 to 27, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin will snap at Phyllis and continue to defend Michael Baldwin for doing his job. When Lauren admits there are details Phyllis isn't in the loop on, Phyllis will push for answers about what she's missing. Will Michael admit the new hypnosis info or stay tight-lipped since Sharon's defense has to be the priority? Regardless, Sharon will have a Merry Christmas celebration at the cottage with her family, but Ian and Jordan are about to unleash soon enough. The Young and the Restless spoilers say there'll be some holiday gatherings happening at the Newman Ranch and Society too, so stay tuned for some fun scenes. Genoa City, once a calm and idyllic town, is now caught in a storm of fear, deceit, and manipulation. At the center of this turmoil is Ian Ward, a man whose descent into madness threatens to destroy everything in his path. His unrelenting pursuit of power and vengeance has entangled the lives of key residents, including Sharon, Jordan, Mariah, Nick, Michael, and Chance. As secrets unravel and alliances are tested, Genoa City faces an uncertain future, with Ian Ward pulling the strings behind the chaos. Ian Ward, once a respected figure in Genoa City, has spiraled into madness. His obsession with control has now morphed into a sinister need to destroy anyone who stands in his way. His actions are no longer driven by strategy, but by an uncontrollable urge to bring suffering. Sharon Newman becomes Ian's primary target as he manipulates Jordan into eliminating her. This sets off a deadly chain of events as Jordan, trapped by Ian's threats, is forced to confront her own morals in the face of survival. Jordan, a woman with a vendetta against Victor Newman, was initially in Genoa City to seek revenge. But Ian's interference has dragged her into a dark web of fear and coercion. With just 3 days to kill Sharon or face death, Jordan is pushed to the edge. Torn between her desire for vengeance and her own moral compass, Jordan must navigate an impossible choice. Will she comply with Ian's demands, or will she find a way to escape his grip? Sharon, still reeling from a traumatic car accident, has been undergoing hypnosis therapy to recover her lost memories. During one pivotal session, Sharon recalls a key detail about the driver involved, inching closer to the truth. However, the strain of uncovering her past puts her health in grave danger, with the risk of slipping into a permanent coma. As Sharon's memories begin to resurface, the truth about the accident, and potentially Ian's involvement, becomes a ticking time bomb. Sharon's allies, Mariah and Nick, work tirelessly to uncover the truth about the accident. They believe that lost security footage from the time of the crash holds the key to identifying the driver. But retrieving the footage proves to be an impossible task, as the years have caused the images to degrade. Unknown to them, Ian is eavesdropping on their every move, growing increasingly anxious about Sharon's progress. If she uncovers the truth, it could expose his manipulation and derail his plans. Determined to uncover the truth and stop Ian's reign of terror, Michael and Chance set out to find the elusive pickup truck involved in the accident. Their race against time to locate clear evidence becomes more desperate with each passing day. Their search, however, is more than just about solving a mystery. It's a battle against Ian's control over Genoa City. Michael and Chance are not just seeking justice, they are fighting to bring down the mastermind behind the chaos. As the deadline for Ian's ultimatum looms, Jordan finds herself running out of options. The clock is ticking as she struggles to find a way to escape Ian's manipulation while protecting her own life. Meanwhile, Sharon's fragile health hangs in the balance, with her therapy pushing her closer to both the truth and physical collapse. Every decision now carries enormous consequences for her future, as the danger from Ian grows more imminent. The fates of Sharon, Mariah, Jordan, and the rest of Genoa City's residents become increasingly entwined. Ian's sinister schemes threaten not only Sharon, but also Mariah, who is unknowingly drawn into his plans. Ian believes that by manipulating Mariah, he can control Sharon and further tighten his grip on the Newman family. With the truth about the accident and Ian's dark intentions hanging in the balance, Michael and Chance finally uncover the missing footage, providing undeniable evidence that could unravel Ian's hold over the town. In the dramatic climax, truth and terror collide. Sharon's painful journey toward recovery, Jordan's internal conflict, and Ian's manipulative reign all come to a head. Ian's dark influence finally unravels, but not without consequences. Genoa City is left to pick up the pieces of its shattered community, forever marked by Ian's reign of terror. Jordan's decision to either stand against Ian or succumb to his demands sets a powerful precedent for resilience and strength in the face of adversity. Sharon's recovery, aided by hypnosis, shows the power of confronting one's past. As the residents of Genoa City come together, they emerge stronger, having survived one of the darkest periods in the town's history. Though peace may return to Genoa City, the scars of Ian Ward's manipulation and terror will never fully fade. As the town moves forward, the lessons learned from this harrowing ordeal serve as a reminder of the fragile line between control and chaos, and the enduring fight for truth and justice. While Genoa City will never be the same, the shared experiences of the residents serve as a testament to human resilience. As they rebuild their lives, they are reminded that even in the face of unimaginable terror, hope and strength can prevail. The saga of Ian Ward's dark influence has shown the power of redemption, the complexity of moral dilemmas, and the indomitable will of those who refuse to be broken. The town's journey from darkness to light will continue to captivate audiences, proving that, in the end, the pursuit of truth and justice will always overcome fear and manipulation. Next week on The Young and the Restless, Ian begins to devise a bold and risky plan to cover up his past crimes against Heather, with the ultimate goal of framing Sharon as the primary culprit. Ian not only wants to close Heather's case, but is also determined to remove Sharon from his life once and for all. To carry out this complex scheme, Ian partners with Jordan, who is hesitant and unsure about becoming involved in such a dangerous plot. Initially, Jordan is skeptical, especially since the plan involves Ian escaping from prison and confronting the powerful Newman family head-on. Jordan is torn between fear and her desire to reclaim what they lost, struggling to resist Ian's manipulative influence. Ian, with his cunning and controlling nature, frequently uses scripture to sway Jordan, pretending to guide her toward cooperation. Despite recognizing the risks, Jordan finds herself drawn to Ian's persuasion, unable to fully reject his emotional manipulation. Meanwhile, a significant development occurs when Ian accidentally overhears a conversation between Mariah Copeland, Tessa Porter, and Claire Newman. He learns that Sharon might be vulnerable to hypnosis, a weakness that he quickly decides to exploit to further his plan. This new information gives Ian a sense of satisfaction, and he immediately shares it with Jordan, believing it will help him execute his plot. However, conflict arises between Ian and Jordan when Ian wants to expand his plan by using Mariah, Tessa, and Claire's friendship to his advantage, while Jordan insists on sticking to their original approach. The disagreement escalates, with Ian growing angry at Jordan for challenging his leadership and Jordan firmly standing her ground, asserting that she has made no mistakes in their plan. Despite the growing tension, Ian pushes aside their argument, focusing on the more pressing task of making progress with his plan. As the plot thickens, Ian begins to set his sights on Tessa, believing he can charm her into becoming an ally or at least a valuable source of information. Meanwhile, he instructs Jordan to carry out the most difficult and dangerous part of the plan, eliminating Sharon. This task causes deep unease for Jordan, who worries about the increased police presence around Sharon and the risks involved. Despite her concerns, Ian is insistent, convinced that Sharon's time is up and that she must be dealt with immediately. Caught in a dangerous spiral, Jordan is increasingly torn between fear and ambition, realizing that continuing down this path with Ian could come at a high cost. She begins to question whether she can escape the dangerous web Ian has woven, knowing that her involvement may lead to severe consequences not only for Sharon, but for herself as well. Back at the Newman household, the tension between Ian and Jordan becomes palpable, and their strange actions have not gone unnoticed by those around them. Sharon, aware that she may be Ian's target, begins to take steps to protect herself. Despite the danger, Sharon remains sharp and capable, deciding it's time to confront the shadows of her past head-on and find a way to clear her name. Meanwhile, Claire Newman begins to suspect that something is off with Ian and his plans. As a close friend of Mariah and Tessa, Claire quietly observes Ian and Jordan, realizing that they could pose a threat not just to Sharon, but to everyone she cares about. As Ian's plot nears its climax, Jordan finds herself at a crossroads. Should she continue to follow Ian's lead, or find a way to escape before things spiral completely out of control? As the battle between Ian, Jordan, Sharon, and the Newman family intensifies, Ian's overconfidence and disregard for Jordan's concerns may prove to be his greatest weakness. While Sharon faces the challenges of uncovering her lost memories and protecting herself from Ian's manipulations, she must also navigate the dangers posed by the hidden threats surrounding her. With both her memory and her safety on the line, Sharon must confront the dark forces conspiring against her, all while Ian and Jordan move closer to executing their plot. The psychological and strategic struggle between Ian, Jordan, Sharon, and the Newman family continues to unfold, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. Sharon's journey to reclaim her memories and clear her name is far from over, and with new revelations about her past and Ian's sinister plans, it's clear that this thrilling storyline is far from its conclusion. The question remains, can Sharon expose Ian's plot and stop the dangerous game he is playing? Or will Ian's manipulations and Jordan's involvement lead to a devastating outcome? All will be revealed in the coming episodes. In The Young and the Restless, Sharon Newman embarks on a journey to uncover the truth behind a mysterious incident that has left her accused of a crime she insists she didn't commit. With the help of Alan, a professional hypnotist, Sharon undergoes hypnosis to retrieve lost memories from the night of the event, hoping that these memories will clear her name and reveal the true culprit. Sharon's first hypnosis session reveals fragmented images of that night. She remembers being at Heather and Daniel's apartment when a power outage occurred, but the most crucial part of her memory is the realization that she was not the one who targeted Phyllis or Heather. She senses the presence of someone sinister in the apartment, but she still cannot identify the person behind it. These flashes of memory give her a glimmer of hope that she can prove her innocence, but the journey ahead is filled with uncertainty. After the first hypnosis session, Sharon shares her recollections with Nick, her steadfast supporter, who grows increasingly concerned about the risks Sharon faces in trying to uncover the truth. He worries that revisiting these memories could put her in danger, especially with someone intent on hiding the truth. Nevertheless, Sharon believes that her memories hold the key to unlocking the mystery. She reveals that she heard a woman's voice during the power outage, and together with Nick, they begin to suspect that Jordan, a figure linked to Ian, might be the woman Sharon heard. As Sharon continues her hypnosis sessions with Alan, her memories begin to take shape. She recalls eerie details, such as the smell of a strange perfume and the sound of a metal object hitting the floor, that could serve as clues to recreate the events of that night. Sharon also starts to see Heather in her memories, but instead of being the target, Heather appears to have simply been in the wrong place at the wrong time. These revelations suggest that Heather may hold the key to uncovering the truth behind the events. Despite the danger, Sharon is determined to press forward. Nick's concern for her safety grows as Sharon's memories start to provide more detailed pieces of the puzzle. While Nick fears for her well-being, Sharon is resolute in her belief that solving this mystery is the only way she can clear her name and regain her freedom. With each new piece of the puzzle, the mystery grows more complex, suggesting a conspiracy much bigger than anyone initially believed. The turning point comes during Sharon's final hypnosis session with Alan, where she recalls an overheard conversation between a woman and someone else, hinting at a darker plan. While Sharon cannot pinpoint the exact voice, the memory leads her to suspect that Jordan may have left something behind at the crime scene, something that could link her to the truth. Sharon's recollections start to paint a picture of a larger, more sinister plot, but the question of who is behind it all remains unanswered. As the hypnosis sessions draw to a close, Sharon is left with the realization that Heather was never the real target. This crucial insight could be the key to unlocking the case, and with Nick's help, Sharon starts working with the police to uncover the truth. However, there are still many unanswered questions, and the danger is far from over. Sharon and Nick are prepared to face even greater revelations, but as they dig deeper into the mystery, they are left wondering who the true villain is, and whether Sharon will be able to protect herself from the forces that are determined to keep the truth hidden. As the week of December 16th to 20th unfolds, viewers can expect more dramatic and emotional moments as Sharon's quest for the truth intensifies. With each hypnosis session, Sharon's memories bring her closer to unraveling the mystery, but the path ahead remains fraught with danger. Will she be able to clear her name, protect her loved ones, and expose the mastermind behind the conspiracy? The answers she seeks may lead to even bigger questions, keeping fans on the edge of their seats. The Young and the Restless spoilers confirm that Sharon Newman is not too far from being proven innocent. Currently, she is neck-deep in trouble, trying to stay afloat with her mental health struggles, and trying to prove that she is innocent. Thankfully, she has Nick Newman to depend on. In fact, the way the two are sticking together in her time of need makes us feel like Cupid is about to strike. Nick and Sharon have a long romantic history together, per the Young and the Restless spoilers. So it is pretty understandable that they will always feel some sort of love for each other. However, we have seen them close just to part ways again way too many times. Thus, we aren't convinced that the makers will give us a happy ever after with them so soon. So we have to consider the possibility that both Nick and Sharon may head towards separate romantic directions when the storm has calmed. Interestingly, Daniel Rumalotti became very alert in a recent episode when the possibility of Sharon being tugged came to light. Even though his mom Phyllis wasn't convinced, Daniel was. He has started to realize that a possible drugging explains a lot, especially Sharon's out-of-character behavior. We know that Sharon isn't really guilty of the crimes that recently went down. Ian Warren and Jordan are responsible for Heather's death. In fact, they even orchestrated Phyllis Summers' car crash. Thus, it is safe to say that Sharon and Daniel both have had their lives disrupted by the wicked duo. So if Daniel starts to do some snooping and uncovers the truth, he will immediately develop a soft spot for Sharon. This realization could give both Sharon and Daniel a fresh perspective on each other and a common ground to connect on. But could it also open the door for a romantic connection? Well, we have seen stranger and more unpredictable things on Y and R. So why not? Besides, it would be fun to see Phyllis flipping over her son dating her nemesis. Are we all here for the drama? The chilling mystery surrounding Heather's death continues to unravel in a way no one could have predicted. Sharon's desperate plea for justice intensifies as the night air seems heavy with unresolved tension. After a haunting dream, or was it more than just a dream? Sharon wakes with her heart racing, unsure whether the vision she experienced was a real supernatural encounter or merely the byproduct of stress. As Sharon tries to shake off the remnants of the dream, she realizes that it was far more than a figment of her imagination. Heather's anguished cries for justice have pierced her mind, and her spirit has appeared to Sharon in a vivid, emotional plea. In the vision, Heather's tear-streaked face was a haunting reminder of her tragic death. Heather's voice echoed in Sharon's ears, urgently revealing the truth. She told Sharon that a couple, an older man and woman, were responsible for the murder. "They trapped us, Sharon," Heather had cried out, urging her to not let the perpetrators go unpunished. It was a cry for vengeance that Sharon couldn't ignore. As Sharon attempts to process this revelation, she struggles to find a way to bring this hidden truth to light. Knowing how difficult it will be for anyone to believe such an outlandish story, Sharon turns to Nick for support. However, Nick dismisses her vision as a product of stress-induced delusions and trauma. He believes Sharon has been manipulated by Ian Ward, and although his words are calm, they strike deep. Nick tells her that he cannot accept the idea of vengeful spirits, leaving Sharon feeling more isolated than ever. Despite Nick's rejection, Sharon is determined to uncover the truth. She confides in Chance Chancellor and Michael Baldwin, two seasoned investigators who approach her claims with more openness. After listening carefully, both Chance and Michael acknowledge that Heather's mention of a specific older couple isn't something Sharon could have just imagined. They suspect there might be more to Heather's death than meets the eye. They promise to investigate further, though they caution Sharon that without concrete evidence, her claims remain speculative. While Sharon grapples with disbelief, the investigation takes a shocking turn when Chance and Michael start to dig into the circumstances of Jordan's whereabouts. Jordan was supposed to be incarcerated for her past crimes, but the records show strange inconsistencies. There are gaps in her prison documentation and mysterious visitation logs, suggesting that Jordan may have somehow escaped, possibly with the help of Ian Ward. This revelation deepens the mystery and raises suspicions that Ian and Jordan might be the couple Heather spoke of. As Chance and Michael dig deeper into this conspiracy, they uncover a grainy security camera image showing a woman who bears a striking resemblance to Jordan. This discovery sends them into a race against time. If Jordan is indeed in Genoa City, they must find her before she and Ian can strike again. Meanwhile, Sharon's visions of Heather grow more vivid and urgent, as if the spirit is pushing her toward the truth. Sharon pieces together what little she knows about Ian and Jordan's motives. Ian has always thrived on chaos, while Jordan's vendetta against Victor Newman has driven her actions. Together, they form a dangerous alliance, one that has now brought them back to Genoa City for a reason Sharon doesn't yet fully understand. In a pivotal moment, Sharon turns to Alan, a respected physician who has studied the mysteries of the human mind. He convinces Nick that Sharon's visions are not just fantasies, but vivid memories resurfacing in a state of altered consciousness. Alan's words slowly begin to erode Nick's skepticism, and he promises to give Sharon's claims more consideration. In a tense and suspense-filled week on The Young and the Restless, Nick risks everything to protect Sharon as she delves deeper into a dangerous mystery that has already claimed the life of Heather. With her mind swirling from unsettling memories and unanswered questions, Sharon begins to realize that the events surrounding Heather's death and the mysterious blackout that night are not as they seem. Something sinister lurks in the shadows, and she's determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. Sharon's investigation into the blackout leads her to chilling discoveries, including the shocking realization that Heather may have been murdered. As she unravels the web of secrets surrounding Heather's life and death, Sharon seeks the help of Nick. Despite his concern for her safety, Nick supports her quest for answers, knowing that the danger is far from over. But Sharon's stubbornness and desire for justice put her in direct danger, especially as she uncovers an unexpected and deadly villain hiding in the dark. Elsewhere, Ian, the mastermind behind the sinister plots, begins to make his move. Aware that Sharon is closing in on the truth, Ian pushes his loyal ally Jordan into a moral dilemma. He pressures Jordan into carrying out a ruthless mission to kill Sharon, threatening dire consequences if she refuses. Torn between loyalty to Ian and her own conscience, Jordan faces an agonizing decision. Ian's cold, calculating nature leaves no room for hesitation. Sharon must be eliminated, or else Ian will stop at nothing to ensure his own secrets stay buried. As the stakes rise, Sharon's unease grows. She feels as though she is being watched, an ominous presence lurking just out of sight. Strange noises, shadows in the night, and the feeling that danger is closing in on her every step make her realize just how precarious her situation is. Determined to end this nightmare, Sharon decides to return to the scene of the blackout alone. Despite Nick's objections, Sharon insists on going, believing it is the only way to uncover the final piece of the puzzle. At the scene, Sharon uncovers a blood-stained necklace belonging to Heather, proof that Heather's death wasn't an accident. But who was behind the killing and why? As Sharon digs deeper, she begins to connect the dots and realizes that she isn't just dealing with Ian. There's a much larger conspiracy at play, one that involves more people than she ever imagined. Nick's protective instincts kick into overdrive as he realizes that Sharon is now a target, not only of Ian, but of others in the shadows who want to keep their dark secrets hidden. With danger closing in from all sides, Nick makes it his mission to protect Sharon at all costs. But as the investigation heats up, the risks become even more personal. As the characters in Genoa City struggle to decide where their loyalties lie, Sharon and Nick must face the truth that their lives will never be the same again. Will Sharon be able to uncover the truth behind Heather's death before it's too late, or will she become the next victim in Ian's twisted plot? Meanwhile, the power struggle between Ian and Jordan intensifies. Ian, determined to keep his grip on power, manipulates Jordan into helping him use the people around him as pawns in his game. As Jordan begins to doubt her involvement, the conflict between them escalates. Will she choose to stand by Ian, or will her conscience lead her to stop the violence? With Sharon's fate hanging in the balance, and Nick prepared to risk everything to protect her, the coming week promises even more drama, twists, and shocking revelations. Stay tuned to The Young and the Restless as the characters face moral dilemmas, dangerous secrets, and life-threatening decisions that could change everything. The Young and the Restless spoilers confirm that Sharon Newman is not too far from being proven innocent. Currently, she is neck-deep in trouble, trying to stay afloat with her mental health struggles and trying to prove that she is innocent. Thankfully, she has Nick Newman to depend on. In fact, the way the two are sticking together in her time of need makes us feel like Cupid is about to strike. Nick and Sharon have a long romantic history together, per The Young and the Restless spoilers. So it is pretty understandable that they will always feel some sort of love for each other. However, we have seen them close just to part ways again way too many times. Thus, we aren't convinced that the makers will give us a happy ever after with them so soon. So we have to consider the possibility that both Nick and Sharon may head towards separate romantic directions when the storm has calmed. Interestingly, Daniel Romalotti became very alert in a recent episode when the possibility of Sharon being tugged came to light. Even though his mom Phyllis wasn't convinced, Daniel was. He has started to realize that a possible drugging explains a lot, especially Sharon's out-of-character behavior. We know that Sharon isn't really guilty of the crimes that recently went down. Ian Warren and Jordan are responsible for Heather's death. In fact, they even orchestrated Phyllis Summers' car crash. Thus, it is safe to say that Sharon and Daniel both have had their lives disrupted by the wicked duo. So if Daniel starts to do some snooping and uncovers the truth, he will immediately develop a soft spot for Sharon. This realization could give both Sharon and Daniel a fresh perspective on each other and a common ground to connect on. But could it also open the door for a romantic connection? Well, we have seen stranger and more unpredictable things on My and R. So why not? Besides, it would be fun to see Phyllis flipping over her son dating her nemesis. Aren't we all here for the drama? The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of December 16 to 20 deliver the moment we've all been waiting for. Private investigator Denise Tolliver locates Damien. Nate Hastings and Amy Lewis are beyond happy yet cautious. Meanwhile, a mystery ally joins Billy Abbott in his scheme against Victor Newman. Finally, Sharon embarks on a recovery path. The Young and the Restless spoilers are starting off the week with some good news for a change. The OG detective, Denise, has cracked the case. The breadcrumbs she followed led her all the way to Los Angeles. Denise returns to Genoa City and announces Damien's hunt is over, leaving Nate and Amy floored. Subsequently, Amy is over the moon about the discovery, but there's a tricky part ahead. The duo must carefully break this life-changing news to Damien without causing a meltdown. It seems like Nate and Amy have some serious strategizing to do. After all, they wouldn't want their new family member to spiral out of control. Over at Society, Billy Abbott is out for revenge. Furthermore, his target this time is the business maestro Victor Newman. The man confidently tells Sally Spectra that he's got the ultimate takedown plan. He has pieced together his plan with a finesse, leaving no room for failure. However, Sally is getting a bit fishy about this newfound optimism and tries to dig for more information. That's when Billy drops a cryptic hint. He hints that his card of ace has just walked through the door. Who could this mystery man be? And what role will they play in Billy's master plan? Meanwhile, Sharon Newman is ready to explore her subconscious with the help of Alan Laurent. Our girl begins her hypnosis session as she's desperate to recover her fragmented memories. The cutest part in this whole chaos? Nick Newman stands by her side to comfort her. Sharon feels nervous to take the plunge into her psyche. Finally, Jordan and Ian Ward better pack their bags to flee the scene. Their days are numbered if Sharon's memories start to flood back. All their plans might just hit a big roadblock. Will Alan's hypnosis session unlock the secrets behind Sharon's blackouts, or will it reveal more unsettling truths? An evening in Genoa City was expected to be a warm reunion, as the Winters family held a small gathering at Devon's penthouse to welcome Lily back and strengthen family bonds. Devon, Lily, Abby, and Nate all contributed to the preparations. Devon curated a jazz playlist, Lily meticulously arranged the decorations, Abby prepared appetizers, and Nate arrived last, full of excitement. But he did not come alone. Nate surprised everyone by bringing Audra Charles, his girlfriend, and proudly introduced her to the family. He also announced their plan to marry early next year. While Devon and Abby received the news with polite acceptance, Lily's reaction was markedly different. From the moment Audra stepped in, Lily wore a visibly displeased expression, and her interactions with Audra were cold and curt. Whenever Audra tried to engage or compliment the evening, Lily either gave short, dismissive responses or ignored her entirely. The atmosphere grew tense as Audra, despite her efforts to remain friendly, couldn't hide her hurt feelings. Devon and Abby noticed the tension but struggled to diffuse it. Nate, feeling powerless, chose to stay silent to avoid escalating the situation, but quietly resolved to speak with Devon later to uncover the root of Lily's hostility. As the evening drew to a close, Nate and Audra left with heavy hearts. Before leaving, Nate pulled Devon aside and quietly said, "We need to talk," hoping his cousin could help him mend the rift before it spiraled out of control. Elsewhere, at the Newman Ranch, Victor was fuming over news that his daughter Claire was abandoning the family legacy for the sake of love. To Victor, this was the ultimate betrayal. Speaking firmly to Victoria, his eldest daughter, Victor warned, "If Claire chooses to turn her back on this family, there will be no forgiveness, not today, not tomorrow, not ever." Victoria, understanding her father's unyielding nature, worried that this hardline stance would only push Claire further away. In Genoa City, both the Winters and Newman families found themselves at critical crossroads, where family bonds were tested by tensions and difficult choices. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.